Hello, everyone. My name is Joy Girl, and today we are going to talk about UX design and wireframe. So, first of all, what is UX design? UX is user experience. So, UX is like making things easy and fun for people to use. Imagine designing a game or a toy that is super easy to play with and you don't get frustrated. So UI design helps to make apps, games and all kind of stuff user friendly so everyone enjoys using them. So it's like creating things that are simple and awesome for people. So we have design thinking, empathize, define, ideate, prototype and test. So let's just talk about this. So empathize involves getting to know your user through research. Then we have divine, which is to identify the problem you will solve with your design. We have ideate, which involves brainstorming all potential solution to your user's problem. Then we have prototype, is an early model of a product that demonstrates functionality. Prototype deals with functionality. Then we have test to test your product. So test is test. So the rule of UX design is your user comes first. You are designing for your user, not yourself. So I have a brief here. It says design an e-commerce mobile app for a shop in your community. So we have the steps that will guide us through designing a mobile app. So the first step is survey. So survey can comes in different forms. So you can decide to send a survey out just to select your target audience. Then after you ask them whether they would like to give more information, that's when interview comes in. You interview at least five persons so that you will understand or have different ideas on what to add to your products. Then we have empathy map. Empathy map is to highlight says, does and feel. So after the interview, you are going to get what your user says, what your user thinks, feels and does. So let's say your user thinks, this is just a sample that I got online. So let's say your user thinks that you need to add you need to add a description page on the mobile app. Let's say the user complains that I'm unable to read about a particular item before adding it to cart. So it will be under things. So let's say your user feels like sad with the experience he or she had while trying to purchase an item. You're going to write it on that fields. So that is just what empathy map is all about. So we have pain points. Based on the empathy map, you are going to highlight the pain points, what you think that um your user wants you to improve on. So questions like what features will you like to see, what frustrates you the most will help you to know what exactly to add under these pain points. So let's just say for this lesson, for this class, let's just say the user complains about the add to cart and description and reviews. So you will just add them under the pain points. So we have a template that can guide us through. If you go to FeedJam, you will get a template for all these steps. So the next is brainstorming. Brainstorming is suggesting ideas on how to solve the problems. So if your user complain about add to cart, it might you might suggest ideas like colors, spacing and so on. So if your user complains about the description not being able to read about a particular item before adding them to cart, you can also suggest ideas that you think can help to solve this particular problem. And while brainstorming, you should have it in mind that no idea is stupid, no idea is trash. Every idea is actually welcome during brainstorming. So we have the next step 5 is idea prioritization matrix. It helps to decide what is best, a map to choose the best path for your project. So we have 4 quadrants. The first one is important and urgent. So it contains the most important and urgent ideas. These are the ideas that needs to be addressed immediately in order to achieve your goals. So the second quadrant is important but not urgent. So it contains important ideas that are not urgent. So these are the ideas that you should work on eventually, but they do not need to be addressed immediately. So next one we have urgent but not important. So it contains urgent ideas that are not important. These are the ideas that you should address immediately, but they are not as important as the ideas in quadrant 1. So the last one is not important and not urgent. So it contains ideas that are neither important nor urgent. These are the ideas that you can put off until later or even ignore altogether. So I have a template here too for idea prioritization matrix. So you can also get something like this on Fijam. So next is the features. So features is a checklist of the things you want to add in your project, just to make your product different from what we have out there. So those are the things that you will list under step 6. Then we have user flow, a way to plan and understand the user or steps a user goes through to achieve something on the website. So I also have a template for that here too, the user flow. You can also get it on Fijam community. Fijam, not Fijam community. So the last one is user persona. So it's like a character in your story. It helps you to understand who the person you are creating for is. Sorry. The person you are creating for is. Yeah. So the template is like this. So if you go to Fijam, you are going to see a template too for user persona. So these are just the basic that you need to know when you are trying to design a product, or let me say an app or website. So we still have more, but these are just the basic that you can't really skip while you are trying to design something new. So now we move to wireframe. So with this is our brief design and e-commerce. Sorry, let me change this to app or a shop in your community. So let's say the user lists out, let's say from your interview, from your research, you got all these reviews, categories, cards, description and checkout. So this is a wireframe that has been done already based on the interview and research. So the user complained about reviews, and this is actually a review section. There will be a see more button here, but it's just to highlight how the flow is going to be. Then the user complain about not being able to see categories. So we have the category section here. When you click on the hamburger, you are going to see categories, and you select and you see the categories of item that we have on the mobile app. Then also the user complain about the cart description and checkout. So if you look at here, we have the cart section. You can add to cart or remove. When you're already on the cart page, you can decide to remove this, or you add more. Then the user complain about not able to check out. Then we have the checkout page here. So this is just what wireframe is all about. So it's just like a skeleton, just a skeleton. So when you are trying to design wireframe, you should have it at the back of your mind that colors using 000 is actually not ideal. So using a mild color is welcome, like it's just the best, something like this. So and also you can actually add text too, so that when you are designing for high fidelity, you will not be confused, you will not be like, oh, what am I supposed to add here? I've forgotten what I supposed to add here, this and that. So just a little text is very necessary, just for you to know what you are supposed to do next. So then all these lines, they represent text, represent text. So this one represents image. Yeah, so that is what wireframe is all about. Just a sketch of what you want on your design, or your mobile app, or your website. So we've actually talked about persona, empathy map, user flow, pain point, brainstorming, idea prioritization, features, survey, yeah, and wireframe. So that's just all about the class.